Welcome to Secret Story. After our evening out, we now lay in bed with none of our usual fooling around. A few hours ago, I had won a dance competition. After that, we experienced our first glory hole. Nathan had stopped the evening, and we came back to the hotel, barely talking. We lay on our backs, and I stared at the ceiling. I had gone over and over the evening in my mind. Nathan had urged and teased me to take part in the dancing competition, and he also encouraged me once it started. Nathan had taken me into the cubicles and must have known they had holes. Nathan also encouraged me when the other couple was there. I could not see what I had done to upset or unsettle him. Are you okay? I could not go to sleep with this playing on my mind. I'm so sorry, I really am. I didn't mean for it to go that far. I really am sorry. Can you forgive me? I had not heard Nathan like this before, and I tried to reassure him. I'm fine, honestly, I'm not upset. But I should have stopped it. It's my fault, all my fault. Nathan cut me off before I could explain how I felt. Nathan has always known that I get very flirty and daring when I've been drinking. He takes advantage of it when we are away or alone. I had always thought he just accepted that I would be the same when out without him. I had assumed he knew I would let someone have a feel or the odd lucky. I just always thought he knew and turned a blind eye, letting me have my fun. Lying in the dark, it dawned on me that he had no idea at all. I really enjoyed it. I thought I should get in and say it quickly and simply. Nathan was silent for a few seconds. I was so worried I had ruined everything. When that woman was pulling me towards her, I got scared I had let it go too far. That I had let the whole evening go too far. Could you not tell how much I was enjoying it? I wasn't sure. I suddenly worried you were just going along to please me. I thought she was just pretending. For a second she was, then she was doing it for real. When you led me into that cubicle, I would have done anything. Anything. Nathan took a few seconds to speak. I was so turned on watching you dance, watching all those people enjoying watching you. I wrapped my fingers around it and squeezed. Did you know there was such a big hole in the wall of the cubicle? Most seem to have holes, some big and some smaller. The last two had their doors shut before, so I guessed they might be more discreet for doing things in. I also hoped there would be a hole for someone to watch you. I did not want to upset Nathan, but I did want to do it again. How did you feel when that other couple came in? I was sure they wanted more from us. Both of them spoke, but I did not understand. So it seems you enjoyed it as much as me, I said. I did. I loved every minute of it. I wanted to do more but suddenly panicked you would be upset. To be honest, I have fantasized about stuff like that for a while. I just never knew how to tell you, how you would react. Now we know we both enjoyed it. I hope we get to do it again. Like you said when you got me to do the dancing. No one here knows us. I was trying to ignore the myriad phones and cameras that had recorded the bar competition. We soon fell asleep and woke, late in the morning, all but missing breakfast, and decided to take a stroll out to catch a lazy brunch at one of the many beachfront cafes. We talked about last night with the safety of knowing we had both enjoyed it. We spent a lazy day around the pool, and then down at the beach. I kept looking around secretly hoping to recognize the woman from the cubicle last night. Once in a while, someone would give me a second look, a double take. I enjoyed the idea of being recognized for that and almost hoped someone would come and say hi, but no one did. During the day Nathan had made the odd quip about going to the cubicles again tonight. I didn't bite, and he didn't pursue it, but it kept making me think about how much I had enjoyed it. What do you mean? Nathan stopped walking and asked, are you serious? I mean, yes, let's get some just in case. Nathan took my hand and led me off toward the shops. There wasn't much of a choice, my favorite brand was there, but I could hardly blurt out, these are the ones I like. Nathan hesitated like a teenager buying his first packet. Oh, I walked up to the counter, picked up 2 packs of the ones I liked, and paid. That wasn't so hard, was it? Why did you get 2? So you don't get all embarrassed if we have to come back for more. We probably won't need any at all. Last night might have been a total fluke. I really hoped it wasn't and hoped we would be lucky. We went out for a meal, and I drank cocktails. Nathan normally moans about the price, but tonight he didn't care. By the time we finished eating it was dark, and I was already feeling very turned on. We walked along the path that led to the toilet block. We stopped in a couple of bars. We had a beer each. There were more people about as we walked the final 100 yards or so onto the path to the beach. We walked past the toilets, it seemed too busy on the path. We walked a little way and turned back taking our time, hoping for a gap in the traffic so to speak. I looked around as we approached. I didn't see anyone we knew, and no one was watching us. I held Nathan's hand tightly and dragged him towards the door and in. Not so many cubicle doors were closed, but the end two were shut. We walked slowly along, looking into each open cubicle. An open door between two closed ones had a foot square hole in one wall and a smaller rough round hole in the other. We looked at each other and slipped inside, locking the door behind us. My heart was pounding in my chest. Are you sure about this? I was glad to find it seemed as clean and fresh as yesterday. I could easily flash or let someone see and feel me. It also meant I only had to pull on the skirt and top to be completely decent. Nathan stood back against the door. I really needed to go. I could not see anyone in either cubicle next door. I motioned Nathan forward. I guessed the stranger was older. Suddenly, there was a pool of light around me from Nathan filming with his phone. No one took the stranger's place, and I still could not see anyone through the other hole. I started to feel a bit creeped out by the empty, rough hole, knowing someone must be just watching. I upstood. Nathan had stopped filming. We almost bumped into a young couple rushing past. We stepped out and watched them go into the last cubicle. The door next to it was now open and we hurried along and closed ourselves in. It was much darker here. The only light in the building was over the entrance door. In the gloom the huge cut out between this and the last cubicle was visible. We heard a zipper, shuffling of clothes and whispered voices. I could hear a whispered conversation, I was sure, in English. A short while later, another match struck, and more light flooded through. I could still see next door and was pleased to see she was now watching us. In the gloom, she looked really pale. I would have said she was no more than a teenager, very pretty with long streaked blonde hair. She had big eyes. I winked at her and was pleased to see her smile. She definitely didn't know what she was doing and looked very inexperienced. I had such an urge to show her how to do it properly. She was watching me the whole time. We were close enough that her man must have been able to watch, too. Her eyes darted between me so proudly on offer to her. I started counting to 20, Nathan pulled back from the hole and asked me what was wrong. Nothing. I was really hoping for more from them. Nathan turned off the light on his phone. It was suddenly very dark. In the cubicle next door, I could hear whispered voices, an urgent discussion perhaps. Then the door creaked and I assumed they had fled the scene. We made sure we were decent and walked quickly outside. I noticed about half of the cubicles were closed now. Let's go to the late bar. I'd just like to watch and have some fun. I'm getting blue balls this evening, so be ready for a good seeing to when we are finally alone. As soon as we headed off along the path, I was aware of a couple catching us up. Hello. Hi, I wanted to say before. Could you show me how to do that, please? Turning around, I recognized the girl from the cubicle moments ago. Under good light, I could see she was absolutely beautiful. To be continued.